lovely, dainty Spanish needle with your yellow flower and white, dewy decked and softly sleeping. Do you think of me tonight?
Known as a pesky herb that likes to take over our gardens and other green spaces, this edible plant is given little or no respect. And if there ever were a contest for most underappreciated medicinal herb, then Spanish needle would certainly get heavyweight contender. Stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Earth's Medicine, the channel that introduces you to the healing wonders of Mother Earth with a Jamaican flavor. So today we're going to be looking very closely at the medicinal herb Spanish needle. Particularly, we're going to be looking at the scientific name, the genus, the plant family, some of the common names, where in the world you can find them growing, the habitat, some of the health benefits, and if you are suffering from cancer or diabetes or hypertension, I think that this video will be of particular interest to you. I will also be sharing how various cultures around the world use this plant as medicine and as food. And we're going to start right now. So the name Spanish needle is one of the common names, and it refers to two plant species, right? And their scientific names are Bidens alba and Bidens piloso. They are two species that belong to the plant genus Bidens. And within the Bidens genus, there are about 250 species. These plants also belong to the Asteraceae plant family, and if you are familiar with daisies, I think you should be familiar with daisies, they are also a part of this family as well. Now, both species of plants really resemble each other, and persons oftentimes mistake one for the other. But in 2006, a genetic research was conducted on both plants, and they found out that they're actually two different plant species. Both plants are edible, and they are quite similar in terms of nutritional content and in terms of medicinal value. However, in terms of identification purposes, there is a slight difference. Both of them have a yellow flower head. However, the Bidens alba has white petals that are quite pronounced and long. They're about 10 millimeters to 16 millimeters long, while the Bidens piloso, either they don't have any petals, or if they do have petals, they're usually much shorter, maybe like about 2 millimeters to 8 millimeters long. So pretty much that's the difference between them. So when persons oftentimes mistake one for the other, it really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, the only thing that really makes the difference is just what I told you, you know? And for the Bidens piloso, apart from Spanish needle, some of the common names are, for instance, blackjack,
Beggar's tick, beggar's tick, hairy beggar ticks, pitchforks, stick tight, farmer's friend, and cobbler's pegs, among other names.
And for the Bidens alba,
apart from Spanish needle, some of the other common names are shepherd's needles, butterfly needles, hairy beggar ticks, as well as beggar ticks. So guys, apart from what was mentioned previously, their flower heads and petals, both plants are also upright, herbaceous plants that can grow to over 3 feet tall, but under 4 feet tall, with equal spread. but the Biden's alba tends to be a bit taller than the Biden's pilosa. The stems are square in cross-section, and when the plants are young, the leaves tend to be simple and oppositely arranged. But as they mature, newer leaves tend to be compound with 3 to 9 sawtooth leaflets. The leaves can be up to 5 inches long and up to 2.5 inches wide. And the seeds are easily recognized by their hooked bristles that tend to attach themselves to our clothes when we brush past them. Biden's pilosa is native to South and Central America, but it can also be found growing widespread in tropical and subtropical regions around the world. So places like Africa, Asia, some parts of the United States, the Caribbean, Australia, and on many islands across the Indian and Pacific Ocean. This species will grow in a wide range of habitats, particularly disturbed areas, wetlands, grasslands along roadsides, ditches, and agricultural production areas. In Jamaica, you will find it growing wildly, organically, and abundantly in gardens and other green spaces. And once it's established, it can handle drought conditions as well. Now, in terms of propagation, this tends to happen either by itself or through cross-pollination, as its blooms are highly visited by a range of pollinators, like bees and butterflies, for example. And the seeds are usually spread by attaching to animal fur, bird feathers, and, as explained before, our clothing, or by being distributed by wind or water. The Biden's alba, on the other hand, is native to some parts of the United States, South America, as well as the West Indies. But you can also find it growing in the Pacific region as well. And it tends to grow in disturbed areas, such as along roadsides and in pastures as well. It is particularly abundant in open and sandy areas as well, but it doesn't grow well in shade or in the understory of forests. And propagation is similar to Biden's pilosa. In some cultures, especially various African cultures, persons use Spanish needle as a part of their traditional folklore medicine to treat a wide range of ailments. There's so many of them that I will not be able to mention all of them. For example, they use the plant to treat things like STDs, urinary tract infections, malaria, as well as to dispel worms. Persons also use the plant to promote the healing of superficial wounds as well. And they do this by extracting the juice from the leaves of the plant and applying it to these wounds. And because of the antiseptic properties found in the plant, some people also use the plant extract as a natural mouthwash to kill odor-causing germs. And they also use it to treat sore gums, mouth blisters, and toothaches as well. Spanish needle also has anti-diabetic properties, and so this can help to control the blood sugar of diabetics. And because of its inflammatory properties, the plant can also help to prevent cognitive decline that is brought on by diabetes and aging. The plant also has a lot of antioxidants, and so it has the ability to slow down the aging process, so it can help with reducing the appearance of wrinkles as well. The plant also has some very powerful anti-cancer features, and this allows it to quickly detect and destroy cancer cells. And this can happen at all stages, starting from preventing cancer to impeding its growth or even destroying the cells. And with such a potent cancer profile, it is said to be a great choice for preventing and treating breast, prostate, colon, and just any kind of cancer. The plant also has anti-hypertensive properties, and different studies have actually linked the plant to a dramatical reduction in the risk of heart disease, cholesterol abnormalities, and hypertension as well. The plant also has the ability to fight off various bacterial and fungal infections because it has antibacterial and antifungal properties. So it can prevent digestive disorders like acid reflux, bloating, as well as constipation. And it can prevent ulcers and gout. It can help with reducing belly fat. It can also help with headaches, jaundice, sore throat, fever, colds, the flu, as well as diarrhea. And like I said before, guys, there are so many health benefits. If I were to continue, it would literally take forever. We are now going to look at the more common ways in which persons use Spanish needle to treat all these different conditions. So the softer parts of the plant are mostly used as medicine. That would include areas like the leaves, for example, as well as the stems, flowers, and shoots. And these parts of the plants are oftentimes used to make an infusion, which is used either internally or externally, depending on the condition being treated. In some cultures, persons use the harder parts of the plant, like the seeds and the roots, for example, to make decoctions as well. The leaves of the plants can also be placed into alcohol and used to make a tincture. However,
when it's placed in a tincture, the medicinal effects are much greater.
Some persons also use the leaves of the plant to make juices, which is either made by itself or combined with other medicinal plants, like aloe vera, for example. According to one particular study that was done, per 100 grams of edible portion, both species contain 85 grams of water, 43 calories, 3.8 grams of protein, 0.5 grams of fat, 8.4 grams of carbs, 3.9 grams of fiber, and 1800 micrograms of beta carotene. Another research found that Bidens piloso also has 60 identified flavonoids, which includes quercetin as well as luteolin, and the micronutrients consist of 340 milligrams of calcium, 67 milligrams of phosphorus, and 2.3 milligrams of iron when dried, and that the dried herb actually has less calcium and phosphorus than the green plant. Other studies have also concluded that the plant also has vitamin C as well as vitamin E in appreciable quantities as well. And one more thing, guys, studies have also shown that when the leaves of the Spanish needle plants are cooked, they actually have a broader spectrum of minerals than spinach. In Jamaica, Spanish needle is mostly used as fodder, for animals like goats and rabbits, for example. So basically, it is underutilized for food purposes by the general population. However, within the Rastafarian subculture, tender shoots and young leaves are commonly used as a vegetable and pot herb. And guys, I'm asking you please to stick around until the end of the video, because I'm going to show you exactly how that's done. In many African countries, like Kenya, the Congo, Botswana, Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa, and Mozambique, the plant is also used as a vegetable or a pot herb as well.
And it can be prepared in pretty much the same way as spinach and callaloo. So you can steam it, you can put it in soups, you can put it in stews, right? And it can be cooked with other vegetables like cabbage or callaloo or okra, etc. It can be eaten raw. Some persons will pick the flower, pick the leaves and eat it as is. However, it's not advisable to eat too much of it because it contains saponins and it can upset your stomach and give you a tummy ache.
So, as you can see, guys, Spanish needle is like a superfood, and I think that if we should ever face difficult moments of food shortages, then these plants could help to keep us alive. Avoid using during pregnancy as well as breastfeeding. And just a reminder, guys, that the raw leaves contain saponins, and too many saponins could give you an upset stomach. Medical disclaimer. The information shared on Earth's Medicine is for the purpose of enlightenment. It is not to be used as a substitute for pharmaceutical medicine. If you are feeling ill or you have any health concerns, please speak to your doctor about same.